Hey, let's talk about the crisis on the southern border that doesn't exist. Or does it? Folks, you remember a few months ago, the Democrats were on TV every minute of every day saying that the president's crazy. There's no crisis on the southern border. And that was a position that they maintained staunchly right up until the moment they were forced to admit that there is a crisis on our southern border. Item from the San Diego Union Tribune. After a year of declines, gang-related crime in San Diego has spiked in recent months, with the city logging twice as many homicides as the same time last year and 20% more gang-related crimes overall. A spate of shootings, retaliation attacks, and other crimes have put the raw number of gang-related crimes this year far ahead of the number through July 2018. Police statistics show there were 463 gang-related crimes committed through June, up from 385 during the same period last year. That increase of 78 crimes is reflected in nearly all categories, unquote. My friend, San Diego, if I'm remembering my geography, is somewhere near our southern border, isn't it? You don't suppose that these gangs are comprised of people who came here illegally and are looking for the good life, do you? Related item from the Heritage Organization. Just days after the county executive, Mark Elrich, issued an executive order prohibiting county employees from asking anyone about their immigration status and banning Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents from all county jails, 2 illegal aliens from El Salvador were arrested for repeatedly raping an 11-year-old girl. Repeatedly raping an 11-year-old girl. This is the same Mark Elrich who says President Trump's enforcement of our immigration law meets, quote, the definition of terrorism, unquote. According to WJLA, the local ABC affiliate in Washington, D.C., Mr. Elrich was actually grinning at his press conference when he gleefully said he couldn't do anything about ICE waiting outside the jailhouse door for criminal aliens being released. But he promised if ICE asked Montgomery County to hold criminal aliens with, quote, anything other than a judicial order, then we're not holding them, unquote. And so here we are. We are in America being victimized by criminals and by our own government, our own officials. Now, I've said many times on this radio show, Real Truth, that we need a new category of crimes. Crimes against the American people. I'm thinking crooked politicians, especially. Ridiculously lenient judges like we've seen. And mayors and police commissioners of sanctuary cities. People who will go out of their way to see to it that criminals flee undisturbed by ICE agents, who go back into their cities and continue to steal and beat and rape and drive drunk and murder. We need a new category of crimes. For those who are invested by us with power and who not only fail to use it, like Congress, but who misuse it to the detriment of the American people. My friends, I know that news these days comes at us fast and furious. We scan the headlines, we hear the news, we're on to something else. But two illegal aliens repeatedly raping an 11-year-old girl. I want you to think about that. Yeah, I know it's not pleasant. That's why I want you to think about it. I want you to think about maybe it's your daughter. Maybe it's your daughter. Or your granddaughter, being held down, having her clothes ripped off, and being violently raped by 2 pieces of garbage. Think about it. Your daughter. So let's stop, and let's think, and let's feel a little bit. These outrages are being committed by people who got into the country because liberal Democrat politicians and their lackeys in other government functionary positions allow them to. better, encourage them to. So it's not just these two illegal alien pieces of snot who are guilty, although I would shoot each of them in the head immediately and toss them in a ditch. It's also the elected officials. It's also the police commissioners, who not only are doing nothing to safeguard the American people, but are doing everything they can think of to get a hearty slap on the back from their liberal colleagues. Aren't you a good soul? Aren't you a good egg? You made sure that these rapists from the third world came here, demolished a human being, and they're gone, and the authorities can't catch them. As far as I'm concerned, that is a crime. Maybe one of the worst crimes. To be invested with the power to protect the American people and then to use that power to have the American people attacked. Now, I have no connections in Congress. I can't twist any arms. I can't donate $1 million to get this kind of legislation written and before the legislators. But I can tell you this. As an American people, as a populace, we can contact our U.S. senators and our congressmen and insist that they create a new level of crime for people entrusted with public power who misuse it and abuse it. I am absolutely disgusted, not only by the idea of an innocent child having her life ruined, but by the smug politicians and others with power who don't care. They don't care. We've given them the power and the authority, and they have spit in our face repeatedly. People like that deserve to be in jail. They deserve to be in jail today, so that an outrage like this doesn't happen tomorrow. You all know what's bringing America down faster than anything else? That's it. Elected officials with power who use that power to damage Americans. As far as I'm concerned, that's a crime, and a hideous one. All right. It's Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. Real truth. We'll be right back.